Welcome to Order of Operations. Before we begin, we need to know what order we do the operations. And that's the whole point of solving order of operations. We have parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and then subtraction. P or PEMDAS. P stands for parentheses or brackets. E stands for exponents. M stands for multiplication. D stands for division. A stands for addition. And S stands for subtraction. Now we do all multiplication, division, left to right, and then we go through the problem and do all addition, subtraction, left to right. If you don't do this, you're going to get a different answer. Let's take a look at an example. Example number 1. 15 divided by 3 times 6 minus 4 squared. There's no parentheses, so then we take a look and see if there's exponents. And we have the exponent of 4 squared. I'm going to rewrite my problem. I always like to put parentheses around what I'm going to do first if the parentheses don't already exist. And in rewriting my problem of 15 divided by 3 times 6 minus, and solving 4 squared, and 4 times 4 is 16. Now I'm going to solve. Now I'm done with exponents. I'm going to solve all multiplication, division, left to right. It doesn't matter which order it comes in as long as you solve it. And the first set of I have is division, which is 15 divided by 3, and that's what I'm going to solve first. 15 divided by 3 is 5. Rewriting my problem, times 6 minus 16. Still have the operation of multiplication, so that's what I'm going to solve. 5 times 6. I love putting parentheses if I don't have parentheses. That way my eyes stay focused and I don't make a mistake. And 5 times 6 is 30 minus 16. And 30 minus 16 is 14. Circle my answer so I know what my answer is, so my teacher can tell. Problem number 2. I have here, I don't have any operation inside that set of parentheses. And inside these parentheses, I have 4 plus 3. When I don't have an operation inside parentheses, I assume it's multiplication. And the same thing goes with brackets. So let's see here. As I rewrite my problem, 2 times 5 plus 3 times, and I'm going to solve 4 plus 3, which is 7. Now I'm going to go left to right. I don't have any exponents, so I'm going to go left to right, solving any multiplication and division. 2 times 5 is 10. Plus 3 times 7. I like to solve one operation at a time, once again, so I don't make silly mistakes. I've been around enough students to know when they make silly mistakes. Okay, I have addition and multiplication. I'm going to solve the multiplication because that comes before addition. And 10 plus 3 times 7 is 21. And then 10 plus 21 is 31. Okay, on my next problem, I have brackets, addition, division, exponents, parentheses. According to order of operations, I'm going to solve inside my parentheses first, which would be 30 divided by 6. As you can see, I'm about to highlight it. And I'm going to rewrite my entire problem, solving only what's highlighted, only what's inside the parentheses. And 30 divided by 6 is 5. Don't forget you still have the power of 2. Powers and exponents are the same thing. I'm still working inside my brackets, and I have an exponent and addition. So I'm going to solve the exponent first, which is 5 squared. Let me go ahead and highlight that for you. I'm going to rewrite my problem solving only the highlighted section. 5 and 5 squared means 5 times 5, or 25. Still working inside my brackets. I have 5 plus 25, which is 30. So I'm going to rewrite my problem. 2, open brackets, 30. I'm going to keep it in brackets because I see no other operation. And just like parentheses, I'm going to assume it's multiplication when there's no other operation around. So 2 times 30 is 60. Very good. Here I have a fraction. Fractions are used as a symbol of the order of operation. It's just another way of writing a division problem. When you have a fraction like this, you have to solve the numerator first, and then you apply order of operations to the denominator. So I would solve 6 plus 4 first, little tongue teaser there, and then 3 squared times 4, applying order of operations. And 6 plus 4, which is my only operation, is 10, divided by, here I have exponent and multiplication, and according to order of operations, according to PEMDAS, I would solve 3 squared first, so I'm going to put parentheses around that, and 3 times 3 is 9, and rewriting my problem times 4. I have nothing to solve up top, and 9 times 4 is 36. Whoops, not 30. See how easy it is to make a mistake? Sometimes your hand gets ahead of your brain. Now I have to reduce it to simplest form. A common factor of 10 and 36 is 2. So I'm going to divide each numerator and denominator by 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. And 36 divided by 2 is 18. 5 and 18 have no more common factors, so I know that is in simplest form. My answer is 5/18. Let's go on and do some more problems. I'm going to rewrite PEMDAS at the top so I don't forget my order of operations. And that would be parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, left to right, and then all addition, subtraction, left to right. And I like to put those arrows there so I can remember I have to work left to right. Okay, let's look at problem number 5. I have parentheses, so that's what I'm going to solve first, which is 15 minus 9, which is 6. Rewriting my problem, plus 3 times 6. Now I'm going to solve all multiplication. I have no exponents, so I'm going to move on to all multiplication, division, left to right. And I'm going to put parentheses around it. Easier on the eye. And solving 3 times 6 is 18. And then 6 plus 18, which is 24. Problem number 6. I got a lot going on here on problem number 6. I'm going to go ahead and solve, when I have brackets, I solve the innermost brackets first. So I apply PEMDAS. I take a look inside my brackets and I have parentheses. And that's what I need to solve before I solve anything else. So I'm going to rewrite my problem. 45 plus, open brackets, sorry about that, and 1 plus 1 is 2, divided by 4. Please don't forget the power of 3. Still working inside my brackets. I have exponents and division, and my exponents get solved before my division. As you can see there, I'm highlighting it. And I have 45 plus, now 2 cubed really means 2 times 2 times 2. And 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. After I solve my exponents, I can go ahead and solve my division. So I'm going to rewrite my problem. 45 plus 8 divided by 4 is 2, and 45 plus 2 is 47. Okay, let's go on to the next problem. I apply my order of operations to my numerator, and then I apply my order of operations to my denominator. I have no parentheses up top, so I move on to E, which is my exponents. I'm going to put parentheses around my exponents, so I know that's what I'm going to solve. I'm ready to solve the exponents in the parentheses. Okay, I'm going to rewrite my problem. 2 times 8 squared means 8 times 8, which is 64, minus 2 times 2 squared means 2 times 2, or 4, times 8. And 2 times 8 on the bottom is 16. We only have one operation on the bottom. Now we still have a couple operations on the top here. I'm going to solve, I have no more parentheses, I have no more exponents, so I'm going to solve multiplication and division left to right. I'm going to solve 2 times 64 first, and 2 times 64, if you don't know it, 2 times 64 is 8, 6 times 2 is 12. It is 128 minus 4 times 8 divided by 16. I still have 2 operations on top. I have multiplication and division, solving the multiplication first. So I'm going to rewrite my problem. 128 minus 4 times 8 is 32, divided by 16. Now, like I said, you don't need a calculator, because you can come over here and do your work on the side. 8 minus 2 is 6, and 12 minus 3 is 9. So 128 minus 32 is 96, divided by 16. Now I need to simplify. And when I simplify, I'm going to find a common factor. Common factor, let's go with, I don't know, 2. They're both even numbers. I may have to do this a couple times. 2 goes into 96. 4 times 2 is 8. Bring down your 6. 2 goes into 16, 8. 8 times 2 is 16, so 96 divided by 2 is 48. 16 divided by 2 is 8. They're still even, so I know they have a common factor of 2, but even more so because I know my multiplication tables. I know 8 goes into 8, so I know they're even numbers, so they have a common factor of 2. And 2 goes into 48 2 times, and 2 goes into 8 4 times. So 24. And 8 divided by 2 is 4. I can still have a common factor of 4. I know 4 will go into both of them, so I'm going to divide by 4. And 4 goes into 24 6 times. And 4 goes into 4 once. So my answer is 6. Now, if I really want to find the GCF here and find a larger number to divide, I can say 2 times 2 times 4. 2 times 2 is 4, times 4 is 16, and 16 goes into 96 6 times. That's your answer. Okay? But when you don't know the GCF right off the bat, it's okay to simplify it by dividing by a smaller factor. And that's just fine too. And notice we did all that without a calculator. We didn't need a calculator. Whew, we have brackets, we have fractions, we have multiplication, subtraction, parentheses. What do I do first, Mrs. Chapman? What do I do first? We have to use your order of operations. Always solve innermost problems first, which is in parentheses. And I'm going to apply my order of operations to what's inside of those parentheses. Meaning, I have multiplication and subtraction, and according to PEMDAS, multiplication comes first. So I'm going to solve 2 times 3 first. I'll rewrite this whole big, huge problem so I don't miss anything. Make sure your handwriting's neat so you can tell what you're doing. I've seen people make mistakes because they can't read their own handwriting. Okay, 2 times 3 is 6 minus 5, close parentheses. I'm still working inside my parentheses. I still have subtraction left, so I have to solve that first. 6, 2 plus 7 over 3, minus 6 minus 5 is 1. Now I can do that. Okay, now earlier on I mentioned that a fraction is a division problem. And according to order operations, division comes before subtraction. So that's what I'm going to solve. 6 over, I have to solve the 2 plus 7 first before I can divide, because remember, you always solve what's on top. And then there's nothing to solve on the bottom. Now I can solve division before subtraction. Let me go up here, rewrite the problem so I don't have to lose room. Okay. Now, fraction is just a division problem according to order operations. That's what I solve first. I solve the division before subtraction. Rewrite and everything. 9 divided by 3 is 3 minus 1. And then solve inside the brackets, which is 3 minus 1. 3 minus 1 is 2. And brackets also stand for multiplication when there's no other operation around. So 6 times 2 is 12. Very good. You guys did an excellent job at that. and thank you for watching Order of Operations. Welcome back to Order of Operations. Like I always do, I'm going to put please excuse my dear Aunt Sally at the top. I'm going to put an arrow under multiplication and division so I can remember to work left to right. And I'm going to put an arrow under addition and subtraction so I can remember to solve moving left to right. Okay, here I'm going to evaluate algebraic expressions. Remember, an expression has no equal sign. What they want me to do is they want me to substitute numbers in for the given variables and solve using order of operations. So everywhere I see an A, I'm going to put a 7. Everywhere I see a B, I'm going to put a 3. And everywhere I see a C, I'm going to put a 5. And when I substitute, I'm going to use parentheses. Okay, so I have 7 squared minus 3 squared minus 4 times 5. And this works really good because in this case we're not dealing with negative numbers, but in case you are dealing with negative numbers, you don't mess up on your negatives. So here I'm going to solve left to right. I need to solve inside the parentheses first, and that's here. 3 squared minus 4 times 5. Inside the parentheses, I'm going to go back and say, are there any parentheses inside? Well, I have a 3, can't solve anything. 5, already solved. So then I go on to exponents. Can I solve exponents? I have a 3 squared. 3 squared, or 3 times 3 is 9, minus 4 times 5, rewriting all my problems. Okay, now I go back and still working inside the parentheses. I have to solve that first before I can solve the 7 squared. I'm going to rewrite the 7 squared minus, inside the parentheses, I have 9 minus 4 times 5. I have to solve the 4 times 5 before I do anything else. So 9 minus 4 times 5 is 20. And now I still have to solve inside the parentheses before I can solve the 7 squared. And 9 minus 20, using parentheses, is a negative number, because a negative is attached to the larger number. And 20 minus 9 is, what's 20 minus 9, people? Oh gosh, I'm going blank for a second. 11. There we go. Okay. If you notice here, I have a double negative. I'm going to turn that into a positive. So I have 7 squared plus 11. Now I'm going to solve my exponent. 7 squared means 7 times 7, or 49, plus 11. 49 plus 10 is 59, plus 1 more is 60. Very good, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let's move on to the next problem. I have, where's my thing? Okay, everywhere, once again, I'm going to evaluate the expression. Everywhere they have an x, they want me to substitute a 3. And everywhere I have a y, they want me to substitute a 4. So I'm going to rewrite my problem. 3 times 4 cubed plus 8 divided by 12. I must solve inside the parentheses here. Following order of operations. I'm going to solve the exponent, and then I'm going to add. The exponent, 4 to the third, means 4 times 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16, and 16 times 4, if you don't know, do it out, you don't need a calculator, is 24. 4 times 1 plus 2 is 6, so that would give me 64 plus 8 divided by 12. Still solving inside my parentheses. 3 times 64 plus 8 is 72 divided by 12. Here I have multiplication, which is 3 times 72, and then divided by 12. I need to solve left to right. So I'm going to solve the 3 times 72 first. 72 times 3 is 6. 3 times 7 is 21. So I get 216 divided by 12. That sure is ugly. 216, do it out, divided by 12. 12 goes into 21 once. Multiply, subtract. 11 minus 2 is 9. Bring down the 6. 12 goes into 96 8 times. So my answer is 18, because 8 times 12 is 96, and I have 0 remainders. Okay, let's go on and do another problem. They're looking a little bit more complicated. Same idea. I'm going to substitute anywhere I see an X, I'm going to put a 12. Anywhere I see a Y, I'm going to put an 8. Anywhere I see a Z, I'm going to put a 3. So I have 2 times 2xy means 2 times x times y. When there's no sign there, it means you multiply when you don't see an actual operation. So they want me to substitute a 12 in for an x and an 8 in for a y minus 3 cubed over 3, because they want me to substitute a 3 in for a z. And now I solve. Following my please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, doing all multiplication division left to right and all addition subtraction left to right. I can't solve 2 times 12 times 8 because exponents come first. So I'm going to rewrite the problem. And I'm going to solve 3 cubed. And 3 cubed means 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. Divided by 3. Now I can solve 2 times 12 times 8 because multiplication comes before subtraction. So 2 times 12 is 24 times 8. 8 times 4 is 32. 8 times 2 is 16. 17, 18, 19 is 192 minus 27 divided by 3. 192 minus 27 carry the 1. 12 minus 7 is 5. 8 minus 2 is 6. Bring down the 1. So 192 minus 27 is 165 divided by 3. Okay, let's do that math out. 165 divided by 3. 3 goes into 16, 5. 3 times 5 is 15. Subtract. Minus 5 is 1. Bring down the 5. And 3 goes into 15 5 times. My answer is 55. Very good. Ow, I think my hand hurts. Yeah, a calculator is nice, but you don't need a calculator. You can do it without a calculator. I'm plugging in the same letters, 12, 8, and 3. So I'm going to substitute 12 in for x, 8 in for y, minus 3 in for z, 12 minus 8 squared. Okay, now, I need to solve whatever's inside parentheses first. And that means I need to solve my 12 minus 8. So, I'm going to rewrite the problem. Solving 12 minus 8, which is 4, and then my square. Now I need to solve all exponents. Now when you see the 2 here, I have an exponent here and an exponent here. Let's solve the one on the left first because we read left to right. I have to apply the exponent to the 12 and to the 8 because it's outside the parentheses. So 12 squared, or 12 times 12, is 144. And 8 squared, or 8 times 8, is 64 minus 3. And 4 squared, or 4 times 4, is 16. This looks really ugly. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to set up the problem. 144 over 64 minus 3 over 16. What I have to do here before I subtract is find a common denominator. I can multiply 16 times 4. The reason I did that is because that will give me the same denominator. Okay? And when I multiply the denominator, I have to multiply the numerator, so 3 times 4 is 12. Now that they're the same, if you remember from subtracting fractions, I now subtract my numerators. 140, I keep the denominator the same, and I subtract. 4 minus 2 is 2, 4 minus 1 is 3, and 1 minus 0 is 1. Now I need to reduce it. Divide by 2. The reason I'm doing that is because I know they're both even numbers. The 2 and the 4 end in even numbers, so I know I can divide by 2, and that's probably my safest bet. I can go ahead and erase some of this to make room, because I don't use a calculator, and sometimes it is guess and check. So, 2 goes into 132. 2 goes into 13 6 times. 6 times 2 is 12. 13 minus 12 is 1. Bring down the 2. So I get an answer of 66. And then 2 goes into 6 3 times, and 2 goes into 4 twice. Okay, I'm going to divide again. Let's go up here. 66 divided by 32. I'm going to divide both by 2. And 66 divided by 2 is 33, and 32 divided by 2 would be 16. Okay? And I can't reduce it anymore because 33 and 16 have no common factors. Took a little bit, but we got the answer. Stay tuned. In the next part, you're going to go ahead and see how to apply order of operations to word problems. Okay. Here we're going to write an algebraic expression, and then we're going to evaluate it using order of operations. I'm going to go ahead and put order of operations up here. It's please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, solving all multiplication, division left to right, and then all addition, subtraction left to right. The problem asks, write an algebraic expression to represent the area of the rectangle, then evaluate to find the area when n equals 4 centimeters. So we're going to do two things here. First, we're going to write an expression, and then we're going to evaluate it, and evaluate means to solve, and they want us to solve it by substituting in the 4 every time we see the n. And if you wait just a second, this here is supposed to be 2n plus 3. Okay, first we need the formula. The formula for finding the area of a rectangle, and that means the inside of a rectangle, is area equals length times width. Now, what's my length? It is 2n plus 3, and my width is n. Okay. Now I'm going to substitute it in for when n equals 4. So everywhere I see an n, 2 times 4 plus 3 times 4. According to order of operations, I'm going to solve inside the parentheses first. That means solving 2 times, I have multiplication and I have addition. I'm going to solve the multiplication first. 2 times 4 is 8 plus 3 times 4. Now I'm going to add. 8 plus 3 is 11 times 4. And now I'm going to multiply. 11 times 4 is 44. So here we go. And I did 2 problems. I wrote the algebraic expression, and then I solved it.